Hey everyone! What's awakening? What are we remembering? Have you felt strange energies around you? Have you seen odd things and maybe think you're going a little bit crazy? We're going to be talking about all this good stuff tonight, and we're here to answer your questions. Now, I'm always excited for the show, but I'm super excited tonight because our guest is my spiritual mentor. I learned so much from her, and I'm super excited to have her on because my life has changed because of all the work I've done with her. So I'm excited to share her with you. So in tonight's Reawaken You, like that, we've got some new sound effects, so I'm all excited tonight. So I want to encourage you. This is something that Lisa has had me do. I want you to stretch your mind, and when a situation happens, see if you can see it from a different perspective. We were talking last week, actually, about the show, and she said to me, what if the purpose for you to do the show was about your own awakening, your own transcending consciousness? And I'm like, really? The universe, this is a lot of work. Could they have just had me read a book or do something like that? And you know how the universe works. Longtime viewers know I talk about the Eckhart Tolle special where I want enlightenment overnight and then wake up and have everything work out as it should. And then she said to me, well, maybe all the work that you did and becoming more enlightened from the show led you to your fiancé. Now, this whole time I thought I was doing good and helping change the world, and maybe it was all about changing me. So I want you to think this week to stretch your mind and see if you can see a particular situation from a different perspective. All right, let's tell you about Lisa. Lisa Transcendence Brown is a translator of higher dimensional energies here to assist in new earth transitions. As a teacher, guide, and LightBody energy channel, she simplifies the illogical world of the awakening and ascending soul. She is author of Awakening to Remembering, A Journey of Consciousness, and the online video course, Walk With Me, A Journey Within. She offers private sessions and workshops to further educate and assist all of on their journey to remembering. Her website is awakeningtoremembering.com. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, thank you. Hey, everybody.
All right, let's get started. What is awakening? We hear that word a lot, but what does it mean?
Well, you'll find with me, you can always get about 12 different answers to every question. So,
I know. I've been there.
It depends on which perspective you want to come from. From a logical perspective, which is what a lot of people start out seeking, is that it's when we start to see things through a different set of eyes. We start seeing that something's not right, and we become a viewer to the things around us. And basically, our heart opens. And when that occurs, or it's the beginning of the heart opening, from that point on, it's the continual heart opening. But it is our soul awakening as an energy, if we want to go to a broader perspective, to understand that there's more to the picture. And from there, we go into consciousness, which is where we all exist as a conscious energy, but we don't understand that. And it's important to understand the more our heart opens, the more we see, which is why we talk about going within to find truth, because our external reality is a projection of our internal belief system and what is within our own soul energy. And there comes a point where we understand that the things we were taught and the thoughts in our head have been learned or given to us or carried over from something that we don't understand, and we start to actually observe the world outside of us at first because we think something's wrong out there.
But it really starts with within.
But it takes figuring out something out there's wrong before we go within. A lot of people will achieve it through meditation. The very masculine energy logical person a lot of times will have to get broken first to cause them to go within to figure out what's wrong. Why me? So it will happen in a different ways. A lot of times there's a breaking point that's necessary because we don't choose this.
Can you maybe give an example of someone who's maybe very logical, and you're talking breaking points, but if someone out there is listening, maybe that would be helpful to them?
There are a multitude of ways. I can use myself as a really good example. I had a lot of them. We all technically have been here attempting to awaken our entire existence. We haven't understood it. There are ways to suppress an awakening. For me, it was medication. For me, it was, there are a multitude of ways of thinking about this, and I separate, when I speak, about the human mind, the human thinking mind, which is the physical being, and then you have the soul self that sees everything completely different, and it will always, I say the word always, but be the opposite of what's logical. So it's not logical to look at the fact that we had to break. This can be somebody suffering, and I use that word very loosely. In the physical, it is suffering. To the soul, it's energy that needs to be purged, and it's a frequency that we exist in. And all we're doing is working through that frequency in order to transcend that and move to a higher frequency. So, for one, it might be addictions. It might be, for me, it was sitting in the middle of a floor after drinking all night long and waking up wanting to know why I was still alive and why my body hadn't just died. I didn't have just one breaking point. I had a multitude of them, because the stronger we are, the more breaking points we need. For me, I was a very, very, very strong masculine energy that needed a lot of breaking.
But would you also add to that ego and logical? That, like, the stronger that is...
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, when you talk
about
that.
Yeah, when masculine energy is strong.
Okay.
So it fights, and it doesn't let go. And it holds on. And this entire thing is about what a lot of people refer to as divine feminine. It is your feminine energy, because everybody has both. Your divine feminine is your heart. Your masculine is your mind, and they were created for the sake of duality. And technically your soul created your logic, your ego, in order to bring everything out within you that needed to be healed. So it's doing its job. When we can come to understand that we chose everything that occurs in every moment, that nothing happens to us. It happens for us.
One thing that you say to me that I have written that's up in my office was, it's not what they do to me, it's what I allow.
Correct.
So talk about that, because that was a real one of those aha moments for me.
That's because we, as the human thinking rational mind, focuses on out there as being the problem. So it will immediately, when something occurs, start focusing on another person or event to blame. Now, what happens is, to shift out of that and into a higher frequency, we actually look at it and say it has nothing to do with that person. That person came here to present me with an opportunity to see something about myself. And when we see from different eyes, we actually see that that person is honoring a contract to create a situation to trigger something within our own frequency in order for us to see. And so technically we just say thank you.
Just happened tonight, and we drove here, and I was like, I got this email, and, she was right. I was grateful, because I thought, okay, this has to do with me inside, and a little more yucky, low vibration coming up of feeling not good enough in what I did. So I am grateful, but I asked for it, and I got it, Toyota. So, remember that. You allow it to happen. So, for someone who's very logical, what could perhaps be, or anyone listening, what could perhaps be a first step to help them awaken? If they're like, I'm kind of stepping my toe in, I don't know a lot, what could they do that would help them begin this journey?
There's a couple things that can be done. One is to listen to your heart. And people in the beginning can't tell the difference because there's so much mind chatter that gets in the way, and it is everything we avoid. It's why for me, it's why I took medication. It's why I worked 10,000 hours a day, because I couldn't take the noise in my head, and I kept the spin cycle going round and round and round and round. We create all situations for us to learn from. So even that was important. I didn't understand at the time that addiction included our mind.
Great point.
And that's the biggest addiction we have to break. For the logical person, it is to ask yourself if you're happy and if everything feels right to you. If it doesn't, you're being told there's something else. And if everything is perfect, then one would not be questioning to start with. So it's going to be, there will be a moment that you look at your life and you wonder why you're here and what you're doing and how you've worked your entire life to gain all of these material possessions, and why you're not happy, or why you work at a job that just doesn't fill your heart, or you have a desire for something different, or when you daydream, you don't see yourself at work, then you're being shown there's something else. And a lot of people, I'll ask them, who are you? And they stop, and they don't know. I'm A, and they start listing their job. Mm-hmm. They start listing that they're a wife, that they're a mother, that they're A, and that's not who we are inside. It is an external thing we've come to identify ourselves with that has nothing to do with us. So this is about unidentifying ourselves with everything externally that we've lost ourselves in. That's what creates separation within us, and that separation is what we came here to learn from and to heal.
Now, I want to remind everyone, this show's for you. If you have a question for Lisa, chat it. I'm monitoring the chat room. You can call in at 919-518-9773 or Skype computers 2K voice.
Come on, guys. Give me some questions, because I work in real time.
She works in real time. Trust me. She's had a lot of practice with me, so it's all good. I sometimes feel like I'm the kindergarten kid saying, why is the sky blue? What's it today? And she answers all of it. And so if you have questions, feel free to ask. While we're waiting, what are some things, what's going on with the energies right now? Because you and I were having this conversation earlier, and people might be like, my stuff's coming up, I'm kind of cranky. What's that all about?
The energies that are streaming through are streaming through in order to push everything up within us. That there's a multitude of ways to address this, but everything within us that is separate, when I speak of separate, anything that is fear, anything that is lack, anything that isn't good enough, anything that's what we see as bad, the energies are showing us what exists within us. We will be triggered throughout the entire day with an event that will cause anger to come up. People will look at another person and go, oh, he made me angry. It has nothing to do with the other person. The energies are pushing your anger up. When you can recognize they have anger, the biggest thing people suffer from is judgment, because judgment is our own. And anytime we form an opinion, we step into judgment. So if we can learn to observe without creating an opinion, the soul observes everything. The logical mind creates an opinion about it and sees it as good or bad or right or wrong. The energies that stream are very intense right now. I call them cosmic energies, solar flares, you name it, they're coming through. I have a lot of people that ask about the energy streams that I translate and put online. On Facebook, I will actually go online at the time that I hear them and feel them in my physical body and post, okay, here we go, and get ready. And people all over the world have come to follow the energy. Somebody told me this morning, it's instead of the weather report, it's the energy report. And how for them, what I do, I had to clear all of my own issues.
Oh, we got a caller.
First.
Hey, good evening. Who's this?
Angela?
Hey, Angel, what's your question for Lisa? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Alabama.
Alabama, woohoo! Go Tide! What's your question for Lisa tonight?
Well, I'm not really sure. I've not ever listened to anything that Lisa's doing, and I'm not really sure. But I guess I'm really working toward finding my soul purpose. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, I have recently lost my mother, and in August, and took care of her for 7 years. My husband is being he's back and forth. He doesn't know if he wants to stay, if he wants to go. And I'm I guess I'm up in the air, and
mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what question to ask.
That's okay.
I don't know. I'm so up in the air, I don't know what to ask. I guess I need some direction or need some help.
It's important.
I am. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's important to come to learn to honor yourself and the way you feel, mm-hmm. and to not listen, and not to discount the things that you get as not being important. The first thing we have to do is to learn to honor ourselves, because we have never done that before. We have never nurtured our physical bodies. We have never given to ourselves what makes us happy inside, and we've compromised for others and even for what we thought we wanted at the time. A soul purpose. I have a different outlook than other people. A soul purpose to me, until we reach a point that every moment we exist is for another, our entire soul purpose is to get okay inside. Every moment is spent understanding ourselves and letting go of everything. I speak from a place of this is not you, because those things that you identify yourself with, they are not you and who you truly are as an energetic being. You are an energetic being of nothing but absolute love. Your sole purpose, until you understand that, is to find that within you.
Okay. Okay. In the meantime, living everyday life, because that is what I'm trying to do. That I've been working on doing that very thing, is finding my soul purpose. And meantime, in everyday life, things are happening all around me.
Correct.
And so it's not. I mean, we are in relationship with other people.
We are.
And yeah. And so I'm trying to let it be. Like with my husband, it's like a little bit ago he left, and I said, "Are you leaving?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to dinner," and he closed the door and he left.
Okay.
And and I'm like, okay, and so I'm thinking I want to get on the computer anyway and do this, so I'm fine with that. But I don't know. So
take every opportunity you have to honor yourself. If your husband leaves, say, you know what? I have some time to myself. Yippee, thank you very much. Honor.
Well, what I'm thinking, he might be leaving, like, for good, and I'm not sure. I don't know.
There will be a multitude of purposes and questions to every moment that we have occur. Things will occur to you, as long as you're not present with it and not making a choice. Because what will happen is your soul will ask you to make a choice. and honor yourself in every moment. And when you don't, then choice gets taken away. This is why I work so hard to create awareness in people, because choice gets taken away from us, and then we have to take what we're given. In every moment, you're asked to choose yourself over another person, place, thing, whatever you want to use, and put yourself first. The question for you would be, what do you want? And that's not a question you have to answer on here. That's within you. When you figure out what you want, yes, you're in relationships with other people, but we do not compromise our own honor and integrity to our own heart for another person. And that takes a lot of work, because every time we do, I call it the karmic loop we stay stuck in, is going to continue to come back around until you choose something different that honors you. A lot of times it means stepping into fear. But what will happen is the moment you step into the fear and you do what you want, the situation will change to support you. Sorry, go ahead.
How do you know what you want?
Well,
I think that's what I'm confused. I don't know how to know what is right for me. I don't know what is right for me.
All right. If you want to, I have an exercise that I do where I have people close their eyes and put their hand on their heart. I actually put both hands right in the center of my chest because I can feel my actual body. And you think of a question with your eyes closed, because when your eyes are open, your logic is involved and you're thinking. And when you think, you will always choose an answer that you want to hear. This is not about that. This is about closing your eyes, putting your hand on your heart, and asking a question that you want to know. Now, what will happen is when your eyes are closed, you'll get an instant feeling, or you'll get an instant answer. The problem that a lot have is they don't like that answer. And then they start looking for a different one because it's easier. But what happens is easy will keep you stuck in that vibrational frequency, and you'll stay in a loop of having to continually deal with that same situation, either with that person, or it will come back around by way of another person, because it's about a frequency now. It's not about a person. It's not about a thing. It's about what is within you.
Yes, okay.
And we do what's safe, and safe is no longer the answer.
Right.
Safe is what the logical mind does. I'm sorry, you go ahead, honey.
I don't even know what safe is. What I mean is, and yeah, I really resonate with that logical masculine mind, the chatter.
Yes.
You know, and I recently realized that my addiction is my stories. You know, the stories of my life, all of the things that have happened and things I have done and things others have done and that kind of thing, those stories. So I am on a fast from the stories.
So the question is, can you give yourself the validation that you need over those stories that you seek from another? Because it's very important to honor the way we feel about things. If we feel, this is where the confusion comes in for a lot of people. They think it's wrong, and there's no judgment in this. Wrong is the logical mind, the masculine energy labeling something. It's there to make us feel bad, if you want to go there, okay? But it's really important to understand that there is no right or wrong in the world of the soul. Everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. When you can see the story and see that we hold on to our stories because we're seeking validation for something, when you can give yourself the validation you seek, when you can say, that story's not me, I can let it go, then you can work to become. The cool thing is when we let go of our stories, we get to become anything we want to be, because then you're not that story. You get to choose. What do you want to be today? Maybe you get up and say, what do I want to be today? What do you want to be? Maybe you start, it's baby steps. It's saying today, I want to go sit outside in the front yard and look at the sunshine and enjoy the trees for 5 minutes. Something I don't usually allow myself to do. Maybe it's taking a salt bath and honoring the fact that you need some peace and quiet. Maybe it's taking a class, if that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's what inspires you that's important. And if you don't know what inspires you, then you have lost yourself in something that isn't you.
Okay.
We're going to have to, we've got some other questions I want to get to, Angel.
Okay.
Hopefully that was
Thank you
helpful.
very much.
And then
I
just want to tell you, we have other interviews with Lisa, and the hand over the heart thing, I hated it the first time she made me do it, but I'm telling you, something simple like that will truly help change your life.
And go to I have a website, transcendingconsciousness.com. It'll be displayed on the site. It has years worth of me going through my own head and working through everything that came up online for people to read. They use this.
Wonderful.
People all over the world use this to understand themselves, and you're welcome to those. They're online for free.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
we've got a
Bye-bye.
bye now. We have a question on chat from Neil. Any feelings on the timing of the major shift of the matrix / stabilizing an upper fourth dimension, fifth dimension? Is this individual or collective in nature, i.e. the matrix mirror stabilizing in the new world?
Both. Individual and collective. To be honest with you, I don't share a lot of what I see yet with many, because what I see spans out over such a length. There's no time there, so I can't tell. I do know that I have woken this week being shown to write an actual collective clearing so that one can start breaking the ties to the anchors that keep them stuck in that collective mindset. Because what's happening is there are a lot of us that have worked through vibrational frequencies, and we exist in a frequency, and we're waiting constantly. And what had been shown to me for one timeline when I woke up last week got moved away months later. And I got shown it was because too many people are holding on to the physical world stuff and not letting go quick enough. And so it actually shifted a timeline for us and slowed things down. So whereas I saw June for something, it got moved to September. And it's pushed a lot of us in a wait and hold pattern. And all we can do is work diligently every day with everything we have within our energy to educate others so that they actually choose to let go, which has been the hardest thing to do because a lot of people don't choose this, which is why I work so hard to create awareness so that people understand that it isn't what's out there. Out there is your projection of what is within you. And if you view it from a movie screen, from inside your head, you can look at anything that's going on in your physical reality and see what exists within you and work to let that go as quickly as you can. Because as you do, it raises the vibrational frequency of everybody here quicker. And that is collective. So it is both. You can't have one without the other.
And if we don't let go, it'll probably be taken from us, right?
It's gonna occur. These energies that have come through have shoved people into a place that, and they don't understand it. They can't see in their physical world reality, oh, I just lost my car, and it has to be something within me. They can't tie the two together. It can't be, I lost my home, or my husband left, or whatever, and go within and see that it's their internal projection of what they needed to experience in order to heal something within them. They can't see that, and which is why we work so hard to help people shift away from the external into the internal and to understand it. And it's easy to do. The logical mind makes it hard.
Okay, we've got a question from Rebecca here, and going to bring that up. My computer has died twice in the time that we've been sitting here.
Well, and if Neil wants to call in, if I didn't answer his question, then call in and I'll make sure that I reiterate or answer it a little bit clearer. But I think that hopefully, Ascension-wise, I see much. It's beautiful. It's exquisite. And we all are able to, with the more that embrace this, actually shift vibrationally into what we've forgotten. And it waits for everybody. Now, technically, we all signed on for this, and it's going exactly as it should. But the awareness that we work to create allows us an opportunity, just like we do in our own, quote, personal human lives, in order to embrace light and embrace this journey. We can do the same thing with assisting others to do the same and speed it up, because technically there's no time here, so all we're doing is shifting vibrationally into a new vibrational frequency, and that's important for everybody to understand.
All right, fantastic. So we've got a question from Rebecca here, and I can't see my screen yet, but I remember it. She said that last night she had what felt like a bolt of lightning energy, and said usually it's kind of like a rising energy, kind of getting higher, but last night, boom, like lightning. Is there a reason for that, or is there a difference in the energies, or are they the same?
No, there's different energies. A lot of people are being activated. It depends on where in the physical body it occurred. A lot of times it will make a difference. There is Kundalini energy, which a lot of people will identify, that runs up the spine. A lot of spines are being activated right now. I know that I've gone to bed 3 nights this week with spine pain, and I know I'm being activated, and I'm like, awesome, bring it on. What other people perceive as painful, we see as moving us into a higher vibrational frequency, more information, more rememberings. So for us, a lot of us, we've learned to embrace it. One's energy, we are soul energy beings. The human mind separates it and creates a physical body to have an experience here. The physical body is too dense to move into the higher vibrational frequency. So everything that is within one's soul energy is going to be activated. Now, everywhere there's a block, the lightning that people feel is just their soul's energy firing off. Now, if there's fear within them, a lot of people will feel it under the skin. I've awoken 3 days, because this has been going on about 3 days, pretty strong. I can feel it under my skin. Most people, for me, it's very minute. If it's really strong, I know other people are having a really bad day. It's under the skin. It feels like a panic attack. It will actually trigger a panic attack in people because they don't understand what it is. It's activating everything within your own cellular DNA structure. Everybody's DNA is being upgraded. 2-strand, 12-strand, yeah. With every strand that gets activated, we get higher consciousness, according to what Allah understand it to be. We are technically all energetic beings. With everything we release, we're turning back into ourselves. So we came here as energy. We came here to experience things, and everything that we have need to experience thus far has been by way of the physical world and all of the traumas that we suffered and all that kind of stuff that we chose to have. And now it's time to let them go. And our soul's energy is being activated. We're moving, which, because of what I see, is tomorrow, but it's not really, into crystalline bodies and vibrational frequencies. The light body everybody's light body is being activated to higher vibrational frequencies. Now, those that live in a very logical world, very physical world, will not feel a thing. They will actually feel pain. They will get sick, and they look at it by going, oh, I'm sick. They don't see that it's an activation of their own energy in order for something to come up and leave, and that's when suppression starts, and when it pushes it back down, it just holds it in to come around another day.
Got it. Fantastic. We've got several questions for you. Sally wants to know, is it easier for the guests to see the past or future? And you'd probably say there is no past or future, correct? Have I been paying attention?
The human logical mind separates time. So, one that is still a victim will see the past. One that is in fear will fear the future. Time is only separated by as much as we perceive things to be. The more trauma we have, the more uncleared frequencies, the more that we see outside of ourselves, the more separated that we are, the more time one sees. So, whereas for me, other than having to stop and find a memory, I have absolutely no memories of the past left. They're gone. A lot of people can't handle this, so it's done very slowly for them in their perception of time. It is part of the process. So the disorientation that people have, where they're shut down and put to sleep so that their realities can merge on a soul level. So, and there will be a flip of realities. And that really freaks people out. So it has to be done slowly according to your vibrational frequency and the time that you exist in, because your logical mind can't take it. The disorientation that we have is for the purpose of removing the memories once we've cleared them. The lady that was talking earlier that was in Alabama talked about her stories. Once you've cut the cords to the stories, then you no longer need it in your energy field anymore, and the memory actually goes. You don't need to exist in the past or the future any longer. You exist in present moment. And when you exist in present moment, you don't care. You're coming completely from your heart. You're interacting with people completely authentic. And you're doing what is within you from your heart's perspective. And you don't care about the past or the future. Now, a lot of people will say, what about the future? I need to worry about it. The human mind needs to worry about the future and separate it out. Once you integrate to a level, frequency-wise, that you are so in sync with your soul as an energy body, everything gets done for you and brought to you according to your journey, and your purpose will be supported in every way, shape, and form. But that takes trust, and that takes in every moment honoring your own soul and your spirit to say, I trust you. I'll listen to that weird idea that makes absolutely no sense, and I'll go do it anyway. Because what happens is the more you listen to those weird ideas that make no sense, the more that you're going to be brought an opportunity that you're not going to miss, that's going to be for you and not to you.
And I just followed one of those crazy things. Trust me. I was like, all right, I'm going to listen. We've got some questions for you here. Wise Mohel says, do you think your past binge drinking was a way to medicate you away from your sensitivities?
It was. It actually served many, many purposes. There will never be one purpose to anything we ever experience. And as we elevate in light, the more purposes you see. So, because we expand out in consciousness, which is why it's so important to challenge your logical mind. Pick any thought that you have and ask the question, why? Why do I have to think that way? And start questioning yourself. And that will tell you something. Now back to the binge drinking.
Yes.
One, it was time for my soul to awaken, yet probably again out of a millionth time that I had suppressed. The alcohol for me was a way to suppress the internal pain that I didn't know I had, because we don't know we have these things within us. We are good people. We really want to help people. We really do from our heart. The problem that we have is there's so much junk in the way. We can't see beneath the surface. Well, what happens is as we start to awaken, all that core stuff that's beneath the surface starts to come up. And so for the drinking served many purposes for me. One, it allowed me to cry. I was so strong, I could not cry. I was the survivor in life is the strongest one to break. They have survived everything. You cannot break them. So for me, drinking allowed me to cry and just mourn for a year and a half and allow all of that internal pain that was within my own soul to go. I had no reason to cry. I didn't even know why I was crying. I just knew it had to go. And it went. And I completely destroyed my physical body in the process. But it was very beneficial because tears are a soul's release. And when one has a lot of internal hidden stuff, one, it's a suppression because our logical mind's job is to keep us from awakening. I had a very strong logical mind. My logical mind had to be broken. And that was one of the ways that had to occur in order to allow me to purge that energy within me, in order to raise in vibrational frequency, because every time I cried, I raised in vibrational frequency afterwards, and the heart opens. So it serves a very important purpose, and that's just one of them.
Okay, we've got some follow-up. Sally is bothered by how I asked her question. She says, the guest is psychic, right or no? Can she see the past of other people and their future too, or no?
I don't do that. I don't focus on telling anybody anything. I provide tools that assist one in going within to find what they need. There are plenty of people out there that are psychic, that do amazing work, and if that's something you're seeking, then go for it. I don't do that. It's just not something I do anymore. Did I years ago? Yes, I did. This psychic to me isn't important at this point. Do I have access to see everything that I need to see? Yes, I do. But that's because I go within and I trust what I get.
Carlton asks, what can you tell me about chest shoulder pain, extreme sadness, which is not my own?
Chest, shoulder pain. That's two different things. The chest area, and I don't go into medical stuff here, so don't take any this. I speak completely from a soul's energetic perspective. Now, for me, everything can be explained as energy, but I cannot go into medical stuff. But I can tell you from an energetic standpoint that anything in the chest area, depending on what it is, for me, every time I had bronchitis, it was anger that was launched in my chest. The heart chakra will try to expand. It will create chest pain, palpitations. The energies that are streaming through are causing a lot of that for people right now. Shoulder is shouldering burdens. It's conflict. If it's in the back here, it's internal conflict. For me, I wore a neck brace for a year, and I had excruciating pain because I had so much conflict within me with everything, and my head was so much in turmoil. Now, you would have known it if you would not have ever known it if you ever saw me, because I was a very successful professional person that ran businesses, but that's actually the worst thing that could have happened to me, because then it was my identity. Shoulder, we looked up for another girl recently, ended up being her perfection issues that was going on.
Carlton says he doesn't believe it's medical. He thinks he has a conflict.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad that helped, I hope.
And we've got a great comment from Angela, who called in earlier. She said, thank you, Lisa, thank you. When I did the exercise of hand over heart about my husband, the answer was wait. So I concentrate on opening to my soul person. Purpose. I'm impatient. I'm with you there too, Angela. Though you're not the only one. But I tell you, working with Lisa, I've learned, you know what? Everything happens in good time. So, trust me, easier said than done. You have a thought on that you'd like to share?
Well, I was going to say, I have the video course that teaches you everything you will want to know about energy, consciousness, expansion, awakening. Now, I say everything you'll want to know. With 60 videos, it pretty much gives you, it teaches you how to feel the difference between energies. It teaches you to go within. It gives you alternative methods to meditation, because meditation was not something I could do. So I had to find different alternative ways to do that. So there's a multitude of things that will help a lot of people if they just want to understand. It teaches you about your own physical body and how to pick up on resistance within you, and tools and exercises that you will do every day in order to expand into your own being as a soul energetically, and out of the it's about them, it's about me conflict. Now, I do want to say, I think it was Carlton talking about the conflict that he had. He can do the hand on heart. That will help him with any internal conflict. Anytime you have internal conflict, it is your heart and your head in battle. So if you can learn to tell the difference between the two, then you can choose. And is it hard? It is perceived as hard. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. But the quick fix will get you relief instantly that you'll have to suffer to again later. If you'll go ahead and do it and bite the bullet on it and step into it, usually what you've created in your mind is going to occur will fall away. Because now, if you step into a higher vibrational frequency, the test is to see if you'll choose that. And the moment, and this is where we get into being multidimensional and stepping in and out of dimensions, because the moment you choose to do something from a higher perspective, from your heart, without judgment, and not do what your logical mind tells you to do, you actually shift up in a vibrational frequency, which means that you just shifted into a higher version of yourself, and your outcome will be based upon your vibrational frequency of what you put into it. So if you put anger into it, you're going to get a response to that anger. It's your laws of attraction, as a lot of people will. Or if you put love into it and kindness, and pride is a masculine energy that we don't let go of very easily. If you let go of the pride, if you let go of the judgment, if you just say, you know what, it is what it is, and it's okay, so what? I created tools that allowed me to be okay in every situation in my mind, because technically you're the one in control of your mind, and you get to choose anything you want.
Now, Angela wants to know, what is it energetically if a person cannot sleep, and when I try to sleep without help, then I just don't sleep for night after night after night?
It's our thoughts. When you lay your head down to go to sleep, our head won't quiet down, and it goes bonkers, and it drives us crazy. And for me, we were talking about this earlier, I was on sleeping medication for 20-something years. And not only sleeping medication, every medication I could find went by the handful. Because I had taken stuff for so long that I had such a tolerance for medication that I could take as much as I wanted and it would knock me out. If you can, there is a awesome guided chakra meditation by Greg DeVries. You can get it for like $6.99 on Amazon.com. And it will actually reprogram your thoughts in your sleep if you'll put it on and allow it to play. Now, I had one lady fall out of a bed and break her wrist, so I would not suggest doing that and trying to stay awake. The purpose is to knock you out. It works. It'll actually go through all of your chakras. It'll actually have you say things in your mind. I would put it on loop and have it loop round and round and round all night long, and I would sleep to it. And I didn't realize, because we don't, until we look back. The logical mind wants to know everything up front. The soul learns afterwards by observation. And then eventually we don't have to observe anymore. We catch it before it occurs and we change it. But if we're not observing it to start with, we don't get to catch it. So that one will help. It helped me. I say it will help, but it's helped a lot of people. So that might be an alternative to at least help a little bit.
Angela also wanted to know, what about if a person cannot hold down food?
Well, right now, that's a common thing for a lot of people because our bodies are shifting vibrationally to a higher frequency. This does not allow for the foods we used to eat to process any longer. They are dense. A lot of people have been forced, I'm going to use that word, when they don't choose it themselves. I was one of those, to go vegetarian and cut out meat. Meat is and I'm speaking in general. There are people that will argue what this is. I don't do arguing with anybody about anything. I don't care to argue with anybody. I don't try to convince anybody of anything. Live food carries light. Live food nourishes your soul body by bringing in light, which is what most people are having to move to, is raw live food. Now, people have told me I can't do that. You don't have to. All you have to do is start introducing something in once a week that you like and start trying things new, and then start letting go of something that doesn't work. Because what's going to happen is everybody's vibrational frequency will not allow them to eat those things that no longer feed their soul, that only feed the physical body, because the physical body is too dense. So the energies coming through are actually stopping people from eating the way they used to. Our eating habits have changed considerably for this reason.
Okay, Neil wants to know, any feelings on the timing of the external societal changes being reflected to those that are heart-centered and holding a higher vibrational resonance, looking for external validation of the work and commitment that we're all doing? When will the collective mirror change in the now?
I don't have a time frame. It depends on the space that I exist in, and in each moment when I walk out and look at the world, I see things have changed. I also see things have not changed. Things are more upbeat. People are happier. They're kinder, which is great. But you have to understand that when you see your external world, you're seeing through your projection of things not being good enough or being separate. Now, I do have to say, I watch it too. It's very disheartening. It's very hard to watch others who participate in a fight that they don't understand is within them. If everybody unplugged from the matrix today, everything would fall away that we're waiting for. That's not going to happen. So, yes, we wait. No, I don't have a time frame. For me, every day is too long, technically, because it's senseless. But we have to understand that those that are participating can't see what we see. Those that are participating don't know anything different. So it's up to us to work in every moment to create awareness for those who might, on a whim, because you know they will be there in that moment that they need to receive that message. We work collectively every day. We don't fight. We don't participate. But yet we hold a certain vibration, and we work 24 hours a day to create awareness and to create community and to create together. And we step away from everything that doesn't resonate with us, because if it is not assisting on this journey, it is a distraction. And if you're distracted, then you're participating in that too. I don't participate in distractions.
Trevor wants to know, any thoughts on my troubles relating to other and family since my awakening?
They're there to show you what still exists within you. When we all get to a point where we've gotten so okay within us, but then we get stuck in what I call a void space. And that void space serves many purposes. One is so that the dense physical reality can catch up to the vibrational frequency of what we just cleared. Now, that may be weeks, that may be months. It's going to be determined by somebody's vibrational frequency and how much has had to go. Collectively, a lot of us will wait for weeks while everybody else clears what they just purged. And we sit in a very uncomfortable space waiting, which is why I work all the time, because obviously that's what we do. If you truly believe within you that you've changed and that you don't need that situation anymore to learn from, then do everything within your power to put something in motion to create an outward flow energetically from you, so that when the physical world catches up, you have something in place that's already in the works for you to take you out of that situation. Now, beyond that, and it can be simple things. One, you have to believe it here, and you have to visualize it here, because the two go hand in hand. The visualization is how you communicate with your soul and how it communicates with you. That's one of the ways. If you can't see it here, then it can't understand you. And if what you see here is anything less than what you desire within your heart, then you're actually transmitting to your soul something differently than what you want. And you're going to get exactly what you need until you don't need it anymore. So when you decide, you know what, if you're not willing to wait for it to change, then start going here, and do something every day to create an opportunity for it to change for you. Maybe it's by contacting other people and creating a network of friends, or putting an ad in the paper for a place to move to, or whatever the case may be. What will happen, though, is as you shift vibrationally, as you get okay, then your physical world around you will take longer, but it will catch up, and an opportunity for you to go somewhere else will be brought to you when you've shown you're serious and you've let the other stuff go. And that means walking out of situations and choosing not to participate any longer. That's choice.
So to someone that's struggling out there, what advice would you have for them? They're just in a really tough place right now.
Have faith, have trust, listen to your heart, make a choice, and do something to make it happen. A lot of people will say, I can't afford it, but they will go buy something. For me, I spent my rent money on a video course and said, okay, universe, if I'm supposed to do this, I bought the video course. Let me tell you, that video course changed my life years ago. That was one of the million things I did. In the moment I got told by the video course, I'm like, this is my rent money. And I argued for 24 hours. And I got up the next day, and I still really wanted that video course. And I'm like, okay, if it's still that price, I'll go get it. I got online. The sale was supposed to be off the day before. It was still that price. I clicked the button, I bought it, and then I went into complete state of fear. I can't pay my rent. What was funny was a few minutes later, the price changed, and it was back up to several $100s. So one, it was kept there for me, and I listened. And two, my rent money was brought back to me by something else that I hadn't expected, because I chose my soul over something in the physical. So make a choice.
All right, I'm talking about getting off the couch and reawaken you. So what one thing can they do right after the show, before they go to bed or tomorrow morning, to reawaken their brilliance?
Start to identify the difference between the human thinking mind and your soul mind. Your soul mind speaks in vibrational frequencies. So instead of, I've had a bad day, I had a low vibrational day. Instead of, I'm having a good day or I'm happy, I'm in a high vibration. Because what happens is you're teaching yourself it's not good or bad. It's a vibration. And you're actually bypassing the logical to start to speak the language of your own soul. That person isn't a bad person. That person is just a vibration that's different than you, that you don't resonate with anymore. So start changing your words and identifying things as high or low vibration, and you'll start to understand what you do and don't want in your life anymore. And then honor yourself.
Fantastic. Now, We're going to talk about briefly, if you go to the events page here, our next online class is next Tuesday, 7 to 9. You can review it for up to a week. It's about finding your passion. One lucky person wins her video course.
Yes.
So if that's not enough to motivate you, then I don't know what else is. Her video course is over $300. She said, hey, pick someone, do a hat drawing. So if you sign up for the course, you'll not only get to hear from 3 national experts on how to find your passion from a multitude of perspectives. And again, if you can't make it live, you have up to a week to review it as much as you want. Because I do this show and I do these events because I wanted us all to reawaken our brilliance. If everyone was following our heart and being passionate, what a great world it would be. So I just want to let you know about this because if you liked what Lisa's had to say, I'm going to say do her video course. I'm in the process of doing it, but if you sign up for the class, you have a chance to win.
So you can give it to everybody that signs up.
Okay, you heard it here. If you sign up for the class, it's a promotional price of only $20, over $300 course that she's willing to give for everyone to sign up. Trust me, it will change your life. I am a work in progress still, but anyone who knows me since working with her, I listen most of the time. But I do the exercises and I'm getting there. So tell everyone about the video course, your website, any other classes or good stuff you have coming up.
We have the video course that's online. It's a go at your own pace. It's 60 plus videos that teach you about consciousness, energy, awakening, ascension, all of that. It's actually a prerequisite for the next course that's going to be coming out, which is on awakening to remembering. Because that one will actually speak in soul language completely in dimensions and vibrational frequencies and about remembering. We have the book at midnight tonight or 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time. It is available on Kindle Reader, which is free, for download, and that's Awakening to Remembering. We have a multitude of journals that I have written through my own journey, through my own mind, and through moving in and out of dimensional frequencies and shifting and learning all of this. As I learned, I wrote. So I have years' worth of journals and things on high vibrational foods. I, on Facebook, stream the energies as they come through, and I report them online on my page and on the Awakening to Remembering page, and people all around the world have learned to identify with their own body and what's going on with them vibrationally by these reports. So you can actually participate with me and interact, and we work on my wall to help everybody who reads. So that is the purpose. And then we have private sessions and workshops too. So we're looking at going to Kauai, Hawaii in September. Possibly Florida, and then we've got a bunch of other states in the United States and some countries overseas, so getting busy. Y'all get ready, and if you want us to come to you, then get in touch, and we will do so.
And it's transcendingconsciousness.com, or no, that's one of them, transcendingconsciousness.com, Awakening to Remember, check her out again, we'll have her on again, Awakening to Remembering.com. We're going to have Lisa on. We have lots of great comments here. We will see you here next week. But again, I'm going to encourage you, do her video course. She's just giving it away if you sign up for the event, promotional price. And that's another thing. Spirit said you got to charge $20, bring it down. So I said, okay, I'm going to listen. And I'm starting to listen because I haven't in the past. Or I get hit in the head with the 2x4 when I don't. So all right, everyone, we appreciate it. We'll have Lisa back on, and we'll see you here next week.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, bye now.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Sundays 9 a.m. till noon. Carrie's Psychic Cafe with Carrie Silkowski, Sundays 8 till 9 p.m. Health Inn with Debbie Bruck, Mondays 11 a.m. till noon. Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Mondays 8 till 9 p.m. Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, Wednesdays 9 till 10 p.m. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by that vidblasterguy.com, carolinaapparel.com, and deltaforce.net.